Good day and welcome to NACTV's Coffee Chat. My name is Lyle Watson. Thank you for joining us, and we're pleased to have as our guest on our Coffee Chat today a young lady by the name of Yvonne Sisley. Yvonne is the new administrator of our ArtsForward Center here in Neepawa, and probably a lot of our viewers have met Yvonne and maybe some haven't, so we would like to take this opportunity to welcome Yvonne to her new position and to NACTV Coffee Chat.
Thank you very much, Lyle.
Would you care to start off by sharing a little bit of who you are, your background, and how you got to ArtsForward involved in that job?
Yeah, I'll go back to, I'm from Alberta. I was born in Calgary and ended up moving out to Manitoba because that's where my mom's family's from. Went to high school in Neepawa, and then I went on to a career for cooking at Eastview Lodge. So I was there for almost 12 years and got the opportunity to move over to Hazel M. Kellington, which I very much enjoyed my position there. I was an EA that I got to work under the speech pathologist part-time and then work with special needs students. So I was there for 20 years, and this summer the opportunity came up for the chance to move over to ArtsForward. So I jumped at it. So,
well,
yeah.
We congratulate you on accepting the new position, or the position there as administrator. And I'm just going to comment on the logo of ArtsForward to start with.
Yes.
Learn, create, and share. Just give us a bit of background on that.
Well, the logo itself, when they rebranded the Viscount Cultural Center, they decided they wanted to move forward with what they felt represented what ArtsForward was, which was, it's all about the learning, the different aspects of art, and the cultural aspects that are involved with ArtsForward, and creating, being able to create a lot of the artwork and create experiences for for children and for adults. And the sharing is sharing everything that the artists and the community and everybody that's involved in ArtsForward gets to do.
And in some of our previous conversations, Yvonne, I can sense an energy from you that you were quite interested and enthusiastic about sharing that arts and culture with our community for the benefit of our citizens.
Yes, absolutely. You and I had touched on this in a different conversation, but my background growing up was sports and recreation, and you know, with having a child who's involved in sports, but also very much involved in the arts end of things, and many friends that I have are artists, and you get to see that there needs to be a balance in the community between sports and recreation and art and cultural. So it definitely is something that meant a lot to me to be able to take the helm of and see if we can expand ArtsForward's representation in the community.
And ArtsForward is a very important entity to our community for the reasons you just said. To this point, you've been, what, 2 months or?
I started September 7th, officially,
7th,
yes.
Yeah. And how are you feeling about your new position as administrator at this point in time?
I think, you know, we started off with a bang. We 2 weeks basically after I started, we were able to put together a presentation for National Day for Truth and Reconciliation that we worked with the school division on. They were very supportive with COVID regulations. Our hands were tied somewhat in what we could do, but we really felt it was important as the cultural representation in this community is to have something that the students and the youth especially could get just even a small portion of how amazing the Indigenous culture is. So we were able to bring in dancers and drum circle and an Indigenous elder to speak to the students, and it was just awesome. And that was only a couple of weeks in, and the board was amazing with support, and we got Salvation Army and Neepawa Gladstone Co-op and Rotary Club, all supporting and helping out with that event. So it started off with a bang, and it hasn't really slowed down since then.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that Indigenous Day was well attended, and
Yes.
it's just such an important part of the progress of reconciliation.
Yes.
Do you plan, or do you foresee it going forward with your hard work that you put into it this year?
Yes, I think. We've had some discussions with one teacher specifically at the Neepawa Middle School who. The Neepawa Middle School themselves are wanting to organize a day for the students, and we wanted to work with them what it might look like. They're hoping to have different stations, different aspects of the culture, different things that the kids can do at each station to learn more. To learn more about the culture. The kids at that presentation on September 29th. The questions they asked were great questions.
Yeah.
And in speaking to Michelle Young at the high school, her grade 9 social studies class, she said they came in right after the presentation and the kids wanted to YouTube some of the dances the elder had talked about and ask more about different things with the culture. So that in itself, I think, is going to expand into a bigger day next year that we can host, and we would like to. We've worked with the town of Neepawa on this as well. They were huge proponents of getting something going. So with the town of Neepawa and all the other support, we'd like to get something going down at the flats. We want to involve food in it, and we want to make a day of it. Yeah.
Sounds pretty exciting, Yvonne, and it's certainly a step in the right direction in terms of reconciliation, because I know in my generation, and maybe not so much in your generation, but we didn't learn anything about the Indigenous culture or other cultures for that matter, you know.
Well, I think my generation, what we learned in school, we learned maybe not the most accurate of historical information. And then I think I had said this to you when this was all coming into, we were working together on getting it organized, was I think a lot of us had heard about residential schools, but we truly didn't hear what happened and what these people went through. And until what was discovered out in BC with those graves, it didn't hit home. And after that, it hit home. Like, we need to truly listen and truly do something. So I think, and I felt that sense that the community felt that way too. And what better way to start that conversation than start it with the youth?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'm very pleased to hear that you got that organized and it turned out so good. What about the art end of it, or the arts part of it? Mm-hmm. What are some of the programs you've been working on that, Yvonne?
Well, so we've got lots in the works. We started off, our first exhibit was Mary Lowe. In our gallery, and her paintings happened to be up when we had our grand reopening. So that was awesome to see, because she's a local Southern Manitoba artist who is extremely talented. We've got exhibits running now through all the way through 2022. I decided that I wanted to stick more local if possible. We have some amazing, amazing local talent. So we've got, Megan Peters is doing a drawing class with the kids, and that's the start of what she'll be working on with art classes. She's a very talented artist who's new to our community. And she's actually building her own studio out at her house at Lake Irwin, which looks fantastic. So she's going to have some stuff running out of there too. Gwen Barilla, for example, I've got her and Shannon Desjardins. We're working on getting some classes set up with those ladies, two amazing artists that we have that are local in town. Yeah. We've got another new board member, Kennedy Baker, who's a young local artist. So that was a bonus too for us that we were able to bring her in as a board member. We've got photography club. We're still just kind of getting things organized with the photography club. Our November exhibit was the Portage Photography Club. They came in and we set up an exhibit and had a night with them and took down names of people interested in photography. And we've got quite a few people that are interested in a photography club. We've got Katie Martin, the high school art teacher. They've got an unveiling on January 22nd of the town mural that her art class is doing.
Oh, okay.
So that's leading into something because Katie Martin is actually working on her own stuff as well. So I don't have a month exactly set, but when her show is done, she's going to be in Winnipeg and in Brandon Art Gallery. So when her show's done, we will get a chance to exhibit her stuff as well. So we've got a lot in the works. And I actually have artists stopping by today with the exhibit that's going in the end of December. So it's through the Rural Artist Mentorship Program that they will be coming as well. So we've got lots, yes.
So what are your hours of operation, and how could we encourage citizens of our Nipawin and area to come and drop into the drop-in center and view some of these exhibits?
So I ask if people can follow us on social media for one, and check our website. So social media, we're under ArtsForward on Facebook and on Instagram. And our website, if you type in ArtsForward, you're going to get the ArtsForward Weebly website that will come up. That will be our website. I do my best to try and make sure that that is updated as well. Also check our bulletin board outside our building. We're right across the street from Giant Tiger. And hours, and I say I'm there most mornings between 8 and 8:30, and I'm there till 4:30. Because I'm a one-person show, I do have to go out like today.
Yeah.
I have a sign on the door that I will be back in so long. But we try and make sure that Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 for sure, I'm there. Yeah. And I'll actually give you our phone number just in case.
Yes.
If you're coming from out of town, please phone ahead just in case I'm out doing errands. It's 476-3232.
3232.
Yes.
Even at my age, I think I could remember that.
Well, it's funny for me because the number at Hazel M. Kellington is 476-2323, so it was just easy to flip it for me. So
you got it. In terms of music, do you have any programs in terms of
we
music?
have Amy Selke, who's doing piano lessons. So I take names and pass them on to Amy. And actually, my son is looking at starting piano lessons with her in January. We have to fit it in between basketball. So we have her right now. I'm still working on other stuff. COVID definitely has thrown a wrench in trying to get some instructors in and stuff like that. We are a double vaccinated facility under Manitoba Health.
Yes.
We have to be. So that's thrown a little bit of a wrench in things with getting some of the music programs up and running. So.
Yep.
We do, though, I will say, in regards to music, we have our open mic night once a month. The next one will be December 15th.
Is there any charge to go to the...
No, they're not. There's no charge to get in.
So we can just go and
Yep.
sit in and enjoy the entertainment.
And in January, I'm super excited. I met with Deborah and Larnie from Settlement Services last week, and Dawn, and we've got something in the works because ArtsForward is art and cultural, and I really want to push a lot of the cultural. I think we need that in Nipawin. We're going to start a once a month karaoke night at ArtsForward. And what we're going to do, though, is in working with Settlement Services, we're going to do it country-themed karaoke. So the first one is going to be the Philippines. So we will have food for sale from the Philippines. We're going to have beverages, and it'll be karaoke. That's going to be January 15th, Saturday, January 15th. And then each month after that, we're going to work on a different country so that we have different food that we can offer. And it's all leading up to a day that working on with Nicole Cooper with the town of Nipawin and Settlement Services. We want to have a United Nations Day. So we're planning that we're thinking the third week of May. We're hoping, weather-wise, it will all work out. We'll probably have the Yellowhead as a backup just in case, but we'd like to make a day of it. And I have got to talk to the schools yet to see if we can work something out with the schools, but we'd love to have the school division be a part of it too. And it will just be the different countries and cultures and just a learning experience. So.
That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think it's fair to say you've got a pretty full agenda coming up for the new
Very
year.
full agenda. Very full.
And I know your agenda is full, but I know that you have an interest in promoting mental health and the
Yes.
mental health initiative that's coming up
Yes.
shortly, and you've arranged for a 3-day program. Could you share that with us?
Well,
Yvonne?
what's happened is it's actually Jeff Descender who has come forward with this, and he's the one that's doing all the work behind this. I'll go back to the start of our programming actually at ArtsForward. People will see that we have a lot of physical programs right now. So we have step class, we have yoga, we have chair Pilates. And the reason why I wanted to go that route right off the start is after the last 1.5 to 2 years with COVID, there's real struggle for probably the majority of the population.
Yep.
Mental health struggles. And one thing that goes hand in hand is if you can be physical or physically fit, it helps your mental health. So we started those programs based on the mental health aspect. Not so much the physical, but again, it all plays into it. Now, Jeff Descender had come to me actually initially about that Rocking the River Bend.
Yes.
Well, they called it, it's now called Rocking the River Bend. It was initially called Jam Fest. So to see if we would work with him to see what we could get together. COVID regulations really tightened things on that because it was going to be an outside event. So then he came back to me with this one, and it's Success Beyond Mental Health series is what Jeff's got in place. So it's December 17th and 18th at ArtsForward, and they're going to be offering workshops, and there's a few different workshops that he's got lined up. Jeff is very passionate about this, and I felt that passion in talking to him. I'm passionate about it. It's been a tough couple years just within my own family with mental health, and it's just awesome to see somebody that wants to help people as much as Jeff does. So yeah, that is something. We're taking registrations at ArtsForward for it. It's only $10 for both days.
And that's like a 2 or 3 hour session.
Yeah, I think there's 3 sessions. There's
Yep.
one Friday evening, and then there's 2 on Saturday. And for $10, he wanted to make it reasonable, to try and cover a little bit of his costs and stuff. But yeah, it's something that I think will be very, very good. And he wants this to be the start and then to keep going from there. And we need it. Our community needs it,
Yep.
you know, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a real community aspect,
Yes.
the mental health aspect of it.
Yeah.
Jeff Descender is the founder of Frozen Fire Studios, and he has a studio just south of town.
Yes, yeah.
And if for some reason somebody was in a lower income bracket and wanted to attend, is there some way they could attend and
Yes.
discreetly work something out?
Yes, absolutely. Jeff had talked about that. It's very important to him to make it available to everyone. So he had talked about that. So yes, they can contact myself at ArtsForward, and we will get something figured out.
The other thing I wonder about is, have you had the opportunity to connect with Tourism Nipawin yet, or have you been working with them?
I've talked to actually, we've got some of their, so we have our featured artisan store, which is now, I guess it used to be in place years ago. I wanted to implement it again because to me it's very important that we showcase our local artists. So we're not taking any commission on any of the stuff. We just want to showcase the local artist. And we do have some Nipawin tourism items in there because when people come through to a gallery, if they're stopping in Nipawin, they want to take something from Nipawin with them.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
so we have Nipawin tourism items in there, but I've talked to Marilyn Crew on several different occasions about different things. And yeah, it's definitely in the mix of everything too. We've got Nipawin tourism. Yeah.
Could we talk a little bit about the funding of ArtsForward and where the majority comes? And we'd like to touch on the aspect of becoming a patron of ArtsForward.
Yes. For us, we are a nonprofit organization, and you know, in order to get everything running and try and keep everything as affordable as possible, it goes by donation. You know, we hunt down grants if we can get for different things. So our biggest fundraiser would be the craft sale, which we just did at the end of November, and I will say, given a double vaxxed event, we were quite happy with the numbers we got out. We were just over 600 people that came through the doors, so that was huge, we thought. Vendors were all happy, so that's all we can do. If the vendors are happy and the customers are happy, we're good. And then after that, it goes down to membership and our patrons. So membership, we have, you know, student, individual, family memberships. And when you take a class through ArtsForward, if you're a member, you get the class at a discounted rate. Now, the patrons program is something, it's a donation to ArtsForward, and our patrons are recognized out in our front hallway. We've got everybody's names down, but they're a big part of, for us, what makes things go. Now, we do you can do an individual patron donation for $100 a year, or a family donation for $200 a year. We're very fortunate. We had a Rotarian who shocked me a couple of weeks ago that came forward with a substantial check, which was huge for us because we can at least put that towards our programming. My biggest thing is trying to make ArtsForward as accessible to everybody as we can. And we can't do it without those donations. And I think it's to get that name out there and people to understand everything that ArtsForward offers. Yeah, we're truly are a big part of the community.
Yes.
You know, there's so many people out there that might not be sports or might not be this, and they don't know what to do. They kind of float in between. We are that place, that go-to place, that place that they might feel comfortable and want to partake in stuff, but not everybody can afford the cost of some of the programs. And you know, we try to keep the prices down, but you still have to cover supplies and you still have to pay an instructor, and you know, if we have an artist come in, you have to be fair and make sure that they're paid as well. So yeah, so the patrons program is a big part of
So if a patron donates for 2022, for example, they'll have their name displayed.
They will
in the
have their
hallway.
name displayed in the plaque, and then you do get a tax receipt as well for your patron's donation, and you're recognized as a huge sponsor.
Just for the 1 year.
Well, it depends. So what they've done in the past is they actually did a 5-year patron program. So I think it was for a family, it was $200 a year. So it was $1,000 for the 5-year program, or you can do it yearly. So yes, so I think they like to go back to the 5-year if they can, and then you don't feel like you're chasing down those donations every year, right? So, but it is completely up to the individual what they would like to.
Yeah, I'd just like to go back to the culture aspect of it and relate to the Filipino population here. You said that you were going to have a day where there's food and their entertainment and.
Yeah, well, we're going to do those karaoke nights.
Yeah.
And then which will lead into the United Nations Day. But our big thing too with doing that is open mic nights, which are fabulous, is a certain demographic in the population that come out to that. We are a community that has many different demographics in it, and we want everyone to come in. So we decided to switch it up, and we thought, okay, well, let's do karaoke as well, because we know we can bring in another demographic and maybe several if we're offering different countries and different things like that. And we want, our big thing is we would like everyone in the community to see what ArtsForward offers and see the programs that maybe their kids might want to take or they might want to partake in, and see what other programs might come up out of this that we could offer as well. So, and it'll be just like open mic, it'll be free to come in. The only thing is, I did talk to Amanda at Salvation Army, and I feel we need to help out as much as we can with other organizations. So my suggestion, and we're going to move forward with this, is you have to bring a non-perishable food item with you. That's going to be your entry. And then I'm going to check with Amanda at the Salvation Army Monthly and see what they're low on stock in. And then we're going to advertise, okay, you get in for free if you can bring this with you, sort of a thing, just to try and help out another organization as well. So,
in the short time that you've been there, Yvonne, have you noticed or sensed any prominent or dominant demographic within our population that comes to ArtsForward, or have you seen a good variety of demographics?
I'm starting to see a variety. Megan Peters' art class definitely has helped with that. I'm starting to see a variety in the demographic that comes in. It's initially, it was only the parents that have had kids in programs before that looked to us for programs in the fall. So it was to get that word out there and get our name out there. And Nicole Cooper and I had a conversation the other morning, and I think we're going to go forward with this next year. There is a fall registration night for all of your different sports, and then I think brownies and all of that go to that registration night as well. Nicole and I think it would be a great idea to put ArtsForward in the town, and we want to have a school day off program. And we want to have it run for the year, and that's going to be part of that registration night, so that parents are very aware, and all different parents in town are very aware of what the town is offering, what ArtsForward is offering, and we fit in with that group too, so people can see all the different programming and stuff. So that's in the works too, is that we're going to have that. We're thinking we might do a school day off program pass for the year, so that you can go in all of these programs. So yeah, that's in the works too. So
the importance of partnerships and
Yo,
partnering with communities.
Absolutely.
Could you
The
express
importance
that?
of partnerships. Nicole is brilliant for brilliant. Amanda at Salvation Army, brilliant, and everything that these people or these women are doing, and you just want to work, and like Larnie and Deborah and everybody at Settlement Services, Dawn, like we've got so many different organizations in town, and Kaleidoscope. Just even like Dawn Birch, I went to school with Dawn, so just even trying to promote and figuring out how our organization can help. The Roxy, I've been in conversation with Leslie Strausick, just trying to see what we can do from ArtsForward to help with the Roxy, and right. So it's trying to get all of those different organizations together, and yeah.
So you would be quite open to talk to any organization that has an interest in partnering with.
Absolutely. If we can help in some way, shape, or form in anything. Nicole emailed yesterday. She's trying to get some stuff worked out for Louis Rialde, and my response back was, "What can I do to help?" We need to, and I think all the organizations are open to that. As much as we can partner and work with everybody, I think it just improves everybody's organization to get those extra.
And it just improves the communication within the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it involves the whole community, which is important.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've had an exciting few months to start.
It has. I was hoping after the craft sale it would slow down a little bit, and it hasn't. So.
Do you have some part-time help?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I actually have been bringing my son in to help me in between rentals, take down and clean up and stuff like that. It will slow down a little bit at some point, but I keep coming up with more programming, so it's partly my fault, but yeah.
Well, the day comes, maybe when COVID comes to an end, that there will be a possibility of having some part-time help to work with you.
I think we're just trying to feel things out still, right? Yeah. And I know the board's open to it. For sure. I'm very fortunate with the board I have at ArtsForward. They're very hands-on and help out with anything. So that's made things a lot easier. I will say that. If I didn't have a board that was as supportive or helpful, then I wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing. But the board is definitely open to it, but we were just I was new, this somewhat post-COVID fall was new to them, and we were just kind of feeling things out. But so I think they're definitely open to having a part-time of some sort.
Yeah. Well, I hope that works out for you, and it'll be good for everybody too.
I think so too. Yes.
Well, our time is kind of slipping away on us here, Yvonne, and I would like to give you the opportunity to share some of your closing thoughts with our viewers about your new position and the future what the future holds for you in ArtsForward.
Well, I guess I just want to say that ArtsForward offers so much to so many people. There's so many different aspects, whether it be for, a person's well-being, for their mental health, for artistic opportunities that people never realized they even had in them, and just as another area in town that they can utilize, as well as the cultural aspect. The cultural aspect to me is so very important. We as a community need to grow, and I think ArtsForward is going to do, I know we're going to do everything that we can to erase some barriers, I think, that are still within our town.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a huge momentum swing, and we're moving forward. And I couldn't have done any of this without the work that Rain had done prior to me. It's funny I say that. Yeah. What Rain had done prior to me being in ArtsForward, she got it to where it was, and now I'm able to take it and keep going.
Move forward.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a very good job of that, Yvonne, and on behalf of our community and Nipawin area, we thank you for taking the position, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
And we look forward to working with you in different ways.
Yes,
hopefully.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, we hope you have enjoyed this session of Coffee Chat, and it's been a pleasure talking to Yvonne. And at any time, if you want to talk to Yvonne about ArtsForward or partnership or patrons, or however you want discussion to go, feel free to call her. She's in her office most days, most hours. So on behalf of NACTV, we thank you for joining us, and stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy the Merry Christmas, the love, peace, and joy of the season. Till next time, have a good day. Bye-bye.